In the run-up to the summit, now summits, the EU has agreed that around 100 billion euros is needed to boost the capital, that is cash reserves, of Europe's banks to protect them against the losses on loans made to Greece. When they made the loans, the banks were not expecting a partial default and didn't set aside enough capital. They're now wrangling over how much recapitalisation will come from government and how much from private investors.
We have to recognize that banks have somehow exposed themselves in sovereign debt. This sovereign debt, they are somehow zero risk charged, so there is no somehow capital that is imposed to hold this sovereign debt, and it's a kind of a mutual game now between the governments and the banking industry. So the solution has to come in agreement between the banking industry and the government.
The politicians would prefer more of that recapitalisation comes from private investors rather than their treasuries. The head of an organisation set up to counterbalance the lobbying efforts of banks says the government should get something in return for helping the banks.
There are three ways for banks to be recapitalized. Either it's public money, either it's the European fund or direct domestic money, that's one way, or it's private capital. So if it's public money, I think that the leaders should require absolutely that public money comes at the price of not reducing lending to the real economy.
The battle of wills continues between the bankers, who are worried about some of their number going bust, and the politicians, concerned about the region slipping back into recession.